Hey fam, welcome back to Tara's Lifestyle and Vlog, and thank you so much for stopping by. So the UK government recently announced 5-point plan to actually cut down on immigration, and I've done a video where I talked about 3 of these changes, but in today's video I'm going to talking about all these 5 changes. And when I made that video, a few of you asked me when these changes was going to come into effect. And in this video also, I'm going to be talking about when these changes will come into effect. So sit back and make sure you watch this video to the end. Okay, but before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel we talk about UK visas and immigration. We talk about life in the UK, how to safely and successfully travel to the UK. We also talk about how to navigate through life as an immigrant living in the UK. So if this sounds like anything you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. And subscription is free, guys, so you don't have to pay any money to subscribe to my channel. Subscription is free. My returning subscribers, thank you all for always coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. So what are these 5 changes that the UK government has announced? These changes are major and they're going to affect a number of people across various visa categories. Okay, so what are these changes that have just been announced? Like I said, we're going to be talking about them in this video. So the first one is that anyone that's coming to the UK on a care worker visa would no longer be able to come to the UK with their dependents. So yes, you heard me right. I know I said in my last video that this is a change that has been announced, but we don't know what the changes are. We don't know what the numbers will be in terms of the dependents or when this is going to come into effect. But it has now been announced that the care workers will no longer be able to come to the UK with any dependents at all. As I said before, this would affect anyone that wants to come to the UK on a care worker visa, especially if you have family in your country. Say for instance, you're coming from Nigeria, you have a husband, a wife, or you have children, someone that depends on you. Would you want to leave them behind? Well, that's a question that that person would want to answer for themselves. That's what's been announced. Care workers will no longer be able to come to the UK with their dependents. Okay, so if you're already in the UK, between now and when that change comes into effect, you can bring your dependents, but once that date comes, you will no longer be able to bring your dependents to the UK. This change will come into effect from spring 2024. When we say spring, we're talking about the end of March, beginning of April. So really from April 2024, anyone coming to the UK on a care worker visa would no longer be able to bring their dependents, their family members with them to the UK. Second change is an increase of the skilled worker salary from 26,200 to 38,700. So anyone that's coming to the UK on a skilled worker visa will have to have a job that is willing to pay them £38,600. So yes, you heard me right. It's a huge amount of money. It's a huge jump from 26,200 to 38,700. The truth is, most jobs in the UK don't even pay that amount of money. So it's going to be really hard for anyone to get a job that would actually pay them 38,600, which means that a lot of employers that are actually employing people from other countries with the salary of 26,200 might no longer be able to employ people from overseas. Okay, which means less people will be able to come to the UK on a skilled worker visa. However, this increase in salary does not apply to anyone that's coming to the UK on a care worker visa. So care workers can actually come to the UK on the same amount of salary they've been coming to the UK with. However, when it comes to other skilled worker visas, it has to be 38,600. So your employer must be willing to pay you £38,600 for you to come to the UK to work. This will also come into effect from the end of March to beginning of April 2024, i.e. spring 2024. Okay, so the third change is that the government has made it even more difficult for anyone that's in the UK to bring their spouse or their family members to join them in the UK. And how have they done this? They've done this by increasing the income of whoever is in the UK from £18,000 a year to 38,700 a year for them to be able to bring their family members, i.e. a spouse, a partner, to the UK. This is also going to come into effect from April 2024, from spring 2024, which means that between now and April 2024, between now and spring of 2024, if you want to bring your spouse, your partner, to the UK, you need to be earning at least £18,000 annually for you to be able to bring them. So that's what your proof of income would be. However, come spring 2024, I keep saying April because that's when spring actually starts. Come spring 2024, if you are coming to the UK, if you want to bring your partner or your spouse to the UK, you would need to be earning £38,700. So you heard me right, they've made it even more difficult. And the Home Secretary James Cleverly said the reason they've decided to increase it is because this hasn't been increased since 2012. Okay, so the last time it was increased was 2012, which was over 10 years ago, which is fair enough. But to me, I feel that amount of money is a bit high for anyone, because like I said before, the average British person does not earn £38,700 a year. Okay, so they're really making it more difficult because they want to cut down on immigration as much as possible. Okay, but this is one of the measures they've put in place, and this again is coming into effect from spring of 2024. They're also going to remove the 20% discount for any jobs on the shortage occupation list. So presently, employers that employ people, organizations that employ people for jobs on the shortage occupation list can actually employ them with a 20% deduction, 20% discount on the salary. However, come April 2024, this is no longer possible. Anyone that wants to employ someone on a shortage occupation list will have to pay the full salary. So no more 20% discount. They will have to pay the full salary to that person. This is making actually more difficult for employers to actually employ people or for jobs on the shortage occupation list. And we know that jobs have recently been added to the shortage occupation list, like laborers, like electricians, like construction workers, care workers, and all of that. So it will be more difficult for employers to actually employ people for these jobs that we're talking about. Okay, and the last but not the least of those changes that have been announced is that they are going to actually review the student visa rules. Okay, so we know that come January, anyone that's coming to the UK for student with a student visa would no longer be able to bring their dependents unless they are coming for a PhD or a research course. So this is also going to be reviewed to ensure that those coming for research courses are actually not abusing the system. So maybe they're going to stop them from bringing their dependents as well. We don't know what that is yet, but we know that it's going to be reviewed as well. Okay, so these are just some of the changes, and these changes are all coming into effect from the spring of 2024. So one, skilled workers salary increase from 26,200 to 38,700. Care workers will no longer be able to bring their dependents to the UK. Anyone that wants to come to the UK, want to bring their spouse, partner, or family member to the UK would need to be earning at least £38,700. The 20% discount or deduction for any job in the shortage occupation list to be removed, and also the student visa for research students would also be reviewed by 2024 spring. Okay, so this, like I said, these are the changes. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's giving you the information that you are looking for. If it has helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.